Hey there, friends. Thanks for being here. I see this all the time in my practice, and maybe you do too, or someone you love does. A lot of my older patients set an alarm to take their blood pressure pill. They're so careful, they don't even put an extra pinch of salt on their green beans. And then they sit down, wrap that cuff around their arm, hit the button, and their top number is still screaming up to 170. On top of that, they feel completely wiped out. Their hands and feet feel tingly, or they get these painful muscle cramps. And every now and then, their heart starts racing, or their chest feels tight. Have you ever felt like this, if that sounds familiar? Please don't just assume your medicine isn't strong enough, and please don't tell yourself, well, I'm just getting older. This is how it's supposed to be, because today I need to give every single person who takes long-term blood pressure medication a very important heads up. When your body starts doing these weird things, the fatigue, the tingling, the heart flutters, that is not your high blood pressure acting up again. That is your body's natural built-in brake pedal for blood pressure getting completely drained out of you. I'm talking about potassium. Here is what so many people don't know. One of the most common types of blood pressure medication, a class called diuretics or water pills, works by helping your kidneys flush out extra fluid and sodium, and that's good. But the problem is it can work like opening a dam. While it's getting rid of the bad stuff, it also washes away something incredibly precious, your potassium. So remember this, friends, sodium is the gas pedal for blood pressure. It pushes it up. Potassium is the brake. It keeps you steady and safe. When you lose that brake, your blood pressure can still spike out of control, even if you're taking your pill perfectly. And here is the scary part. Severe low potassium can actually trigger a life-threatening heart rhythm that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. So yes, today's video could genuinely save a life, but please hear me loud and clear. Do not go buy potassium pills on your own. That can be incredibly dangerous. And I'll explain exactly why in a few minutes. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to use the 5 cheapest, most effective natural high potassium foods from your local grocery store. Think Walmart, Kroger, any mainstream supermarket, to put that potassium back where it belongs meal by meal, and give your blood pressure the steady break it deserves. And as always, a quick but important disclaimer: this is for educational purposes only. I'm your trusted YouTube doctor, but I'm not your doctor. Always check with your own primary care provider before making any changes to your routine. The silent warning signs your body sends. Before I get into the 5 foods, let's take a step back and really understand this silent condition, high blood pressure, or what we call hypertension. A lot of the time, hypertension creeps up with no warning at all. It's quiet, but if you're paying close attention, your body does send early signals. You just have to know what to look for. Here are 6 early warning signs of high blood pressure. Go ahead and check these against yourself, or think about your spouse, your parent, a friend. Warning sign number 1, a headache that just won't go away. And I'm not talking about a regular, ordinary headache. A hypertension headache has its own personality. Sometimes it feels like a constant, dull, heavy ache all over your head, like your brain is in a fog. Sometimes it's a throbbing, pulsing feeling right at the back of your head or around your temples, like a little drumbeat along with your pulse. And in more serious cases, it can feel like your head is literally going to explode. It's that intense. If you keep getting headaches like this, don't just reach for the Tylenol or the Advil. Go check your blood pressure. Please, warning sign number 2, occasional dizziness. Especially when you move, this kind of dizziness has a very specific pattern. The most common version is when you change position quickly. You squat down at the grocery store to grab something off the bottom shelf, and then you stand up fast and the whole room spins. Your vision goes dark for a second. You have to reach out and grab the cart just to stay upright. Some people don't have it that dramatic though. They just feel a constant head heavy, groggy, off balance feeling. That can be a sign that your blood pressure is affecting blood flow to your brain. Warning sign number 3, your brain feels like it's full of cotton, trouble focusing, feeling like you can't finish a thought, forgetting what you were about to say right in the middle of a sentence. A lot of my older patients tell me, "Doc, I just feel like my head is full of mud." And look, some of that is normal aging, but here's what else it can be. Long-term high blood pressure can reduce the amount of blood and oxygen getting to your brain, and over time, that affects your memory, your concentration, and your mental sharpness. Warning sign number 4, you feel more irritable and you can't sleep. Have you noticed that you or your husband or your mom have gotten grumpier lately, snapping at the grandkids over nothing, getting angry in traffic when you never used to? And then at night, You lie in bed staring at the ceiling, your mind just racing, you cannot turn it off. That's not just stress. High blood pressure can actually change the balance of chemicals in your brain, the ones that control your mood and your sleep cycle. Warning sign number 5, tingling hands or feet and tight, achy muscles. Some people with high blood pressure feel a weird pins and needles sensation in their fingers or their toes, like little bugs crawling on their skin. Other people notice that their neck and upper back muscles feel strangely tight and sore for no good reason. That can happen when high blood pressure starts affecting the smaller blood vessels and the nerves in your extremities. Warning sign number 6, your skin looks pale and you feel like you might be anemic. This one is a little different. It usually means that high blood pressure has already started to cause some damage to the kidneys. Here's why. Your kidneys are like a factory that helps produce red blood cells. When high blood pressure damages your kidneys over many years, that factory slows down. It doesn't make enough red blood cells anymore. So what happens? You start to look pale. Your energy drops even more. You feel dizzy and weak. That's anemia, and it's a sign that things have been going on for a while. So, friends, those are the 6 signals. If you check 2 or 3 of these boxes, please don't ignore it. Don't wait until your next annual physical. Make an appointment with your doctor and say, I'm worried about my blood pressure. Can we check it carefully? The tug of war inside your body. All right, now let's get to the absolute core of today's video. Why does low potassium make your blood pressure go up, and why is this such a big deal for people on water pills? Here's the simplest way to understand it. Imagine there is a tug of war happening inside your body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on one team. Sodium comes mostly from salt and from all the processed foods we eat. Frozen dinners, canned soup, deli meat, chips, fast food. Sodium's job in this tug of war is to pull your blood pressure up. How does it do that? When you have too much sodium in your blood, your body does something smart to protect you. It holds onto water like a sponge to dilute all that sodium. But that extra water has to go somewhere. It stays in your bloodstream. Think about a garden hose. If you suddenly increase the amount of water flowing through that hose, what happens? The pressure against the walls of the hose goes up. The same thing happens in your arteries. More blood volume means more pressure on your vessel walls. That's sodium pulling the rope. Now, on the other side of the tug of war, that's potassium. Potassium is your body's natural built-in blood pressure lowerer. It is fighting against sodium every single day, and potassium has 2 really powerful moves. Potassium move number 1, it goes straight to your kidneys and says, hey, wake up. I need you to get rid of that extra sodium. So your kidneys work harder flushing sodium out through your urine. Less sodium means less water held in your blood. Less water means lower pressure. We call this the behind the scenes move. Potassium move number 2. Potassium actually goes to your blood vessel walls and helps them relax. It calms down a chemical called angiotensin. That's a substance that makes your blood vessels get tight and narrow. When potassium does its job, your vessels open up a little, they become more flexible, and when your vessels are relaxed, blood flows more easily, and your blood pressure drops. So back to our tug of war, if your potassium levels are good, that team is strong, they pull sodium back toward the center line, your blood pressure stays nice and steady. But if you are low on potassium, if that water pill has been washing it away for months or years, then the potassium team is weak. They are practically letting go of the rope, and sodium just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling your blood pressure higher and higher. That is why getting enough potassium is so incredibly important, especially if you take a diuretic. The 4 hidden dangers of low potassium. Low potassium doesn't just mess with your blood pressure, it affects your entire body. Potassium is one of the most important electrolytes we have, and when it gets too low, things start to go wrong in a lot of places. Danger number 1, muscle weakness all over your body, your muscles. From your biceps to your thighs to the tiny muscles in your hands, all of them need potassium to receive nerve signals and to contract properly. When your blood potassium level drops below 3.0 millimoles per liter, you will feel it, you will feel tired, heavy, like you just ran a marathon when all you did was walk to the mailbox. And if it drops even further below 2.5, that can cause something called hypokalemic paralysis. Your muscles basically stop working, you cannot move, and it can be accompanied by severe pain and cramping. Danger number 2, your heart gets confused. The heart is a muscle, and it is the most hard-working muscle in your body. Low potassium affects the electrical signals that tell your heart when to squeeze and when to relax. In mild cases, you might feel your heart racing for no reason. Or you feel those skipped beats, like your heart flips over in your chest. That's palpitations. But in severe cases, low potassium can trigger a dangerous rhythm called ventricular fibrillation. That is when the lower chambers of your heart just quiver instead of pumping. And that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest, meaning your heart stops. Danger number three, your digestion slows to a crawl. Your stomach and your intestines are also made of muscle, and they need potassium to move food through your system when you're low on potassium. Your whole digestive tract gets lazy and sluggish. You might feel bloated, nauseous, you might lose your appetite completely, and you can get this weird back and forth between constipation and diarrhea. In really serious cases, your intestines can actually stop moving entirely. That's called an ileus, or intestinal paralysis, and that is a medical emergency. Danger number four, your brain turns to molasses. Potassium isn't just for muscles, it is also critical for your nerves to fire properly. When you are low on potassium, your whole nervous system slows down. You feel mentally exhausted, you can't concentrate, you feel like you're thinking through molasses, and you get tired after just a few hours of being awake. Why you should not run out and buy potassium pills. I can hear some of you thinking right now, oh my gosh, this is scary. I need to go to CVS or Walgreens and buy potassium pills tomorrow, please. Do not do that. Let me explain why oral potassium supplements. The pills you can buy over the counter are meant to be medicine. They are for people with a confirmed serious medical diagnosis of hypokalemia, and they are meant to be taken under a doctor's supervision, usually with regular blood tests to monitor your levels. Here's the problem. When it comes to potassium, you can absolutely have too much of a good thing. Hyperkalemia, high potassium in your blood, is just as dangerous as low potassium. If you take too much potassium, or if your kidneys can't flush out the extra, your blood potassium can go too high. And high potassium, it also causes dangerous heart rhythm problems. It can also stop your heart. So please do not self-prescribe potassium pills. For almost everyone watching this video, for the vast majority of people, the safest, smartest, most effective way to get your potassium back is the way humans have done it for thousands of years, through food. Your body knows exactly what to do with potassium that comes from a baked potato or a banana or a handful of edamame. It absorbs it slowly and safely. There is almost no risk of overdose from food. So let's turn our attention away from the pharmacy counter and over to your dinner table. 5 high potassium foods that will help stabilize your blood pressure. Here are 5 foods, all cheap, all available at any American grocery store, all delicious, that are absolutely packed with potassium. These are the foods your doctor actually wants you to eat. Food number 1, corn. A lot of people think corn is just a filler, the side dish at a summer barbecue, but corn is so much more than that. 100 grams of corn, that's about 2/3 of a cup, contains approximately 238 milligrams of potassium. That is a solid amount. It helps your body balance sodium and maintain that healthy electrolyte level we talked about. But that's not all. Corn is also loaded with dietary fiber. That fiber helps with 2 things. First, it keeps your digestive system moving, preventing the constipation that can come with some blood pressure medications. And second, fiber helps you feel full, which makes it easier to control your weight. And we know that every pound you lose helps your blood pressure. And don't throw away the corn silk, that stringy stuff you pull off before you cook corn on the cob. That is actually a hidden gem in traditional herbal medicine. And this is something we see across many cultures. Corn silk has been used for hundreds of years as a gentle diuretic. It helps your body get rid of extra fluid. You can dry that corn silk, steep it in hot water like a tea, and drink it. It can give you a little extra help with fluid balance, but, and this is a big but, that is only for gentle, everyday support. Do not ever replace your prescription blood pressure medicine with corn silk tea. That is dangerous. Food number 2, soybeans, the king of potassium. If there was a trophy for the highest potassium food on this list, soybeans would win it, hands down. 100 grams of dried soybeans, which is about a half cup, contains anywhere from 600 to 800 milligrams of potassium. That is absolutely enormous. It is higher than almost any vegetable or fruit you can name. And the best part, you don't have to eat plain soybeans. All of the foods made from soy, tofu, edamame, soy milk, tempeh, even soy-based meat alternatives, they all have significant amounts of potassium. Now, I want to share a study with you that I find really exciting in 2020. Researchers at a major hospital in Shanghai, Fudan University, looked at the eating habits of thousands of people, and they found that the group who ate about 125 grams of soy foods every day, that's about a small block of tofu, had a 27% lower risk of developing high blood pressure compared to the group who ate almost no soy, 27%, just from adding a little tofu or edamame to your diet. That is powerful, and it's cheap, and it's delicious. But two groups of people need to be careful with soy. First, if you have a sensitive stomach and you get bloated or gassy easily, go easy on the soy. It is high in protein and fiber, and that can be hard for some people to digest. Second, and this is very important, if you have known kidney disease, you need to talk to your doctor before you start eating a lot of high potassium foods, including soy. Damaged kidneys cannot filter out extra potassium well, and too much potassium, even from healthy food, can build up to dangerous levels. Food number 3, bananas, the classic on the go option. Bananas are the celebrity of potassium foods. Everyone knows about them, and for good reason. 100 grams of banana, about 2/3 of a medium banana, contains approximately 256 milligrams of potassium. But let's be practical. A typical banana that you grab at the grocery store weighs about 150 grams. That one banana gives you nearly 400 milligrams of potassium. That is about 17% of the total potassium you need in an entire day. So eating one banana a day is a fantastic, easy, no cooking required way to start boosting your potassium levels. But again, two groups need to be cautious. First, if you have already been diagnosed with hyperkalemia, that's high blood potassium, you should not eat extra bananas. Talk to your doctor first. Second, people with advanced kidney disease or kidney failure need to be very careful with bananas. Their kidneys cannot excrete potassium efficiently. Eating a high potassium food like a banana could cause dangerous buildup. Food number 4, the humble potato. I love the potato. It is so ordinary, so cheap, so overlooked. But this vegetable, and yes, it's a vegetable, is an absolute underground treasure. 100 grams of potato, that's about one small red potato, contains 347 milligrams of potassium. Did you catch that? A potato has more potassium than a banana by a significant margin, and potatoes are not just potassium delivery devices. They are also full of vitamin C, B vitamins, and carotenoids, all of which are antioxidants that support your heart and blood vessels. How should you eat potatoes for maximum health? The best methods are baking, boiling, or steaming. Take a whole potato, wash it, bake it until it's soft, and then sprinkle just a tiny pinch of salt and some pepper. That is a delicious potassium-packed side dish. Or cut potatoes into chunks and throw them into a stew with some lean beef and tomatoes. That is comfort food that is actually good for you. But please, and I cannot say this strongly enough, stay away from French fries and potato chips. High temperature frying destroys most of the nutrients, and then the potato soaks up all that unhealthy oil, turning a healthy vegetable into a heart attack on a plate. I know they taste good, but for your blood pressure, not worth it. And one more critical warning about potatoes. If you see that a potato has turned green, if the skin has a greenish tint, or if it has started to grow little sprouts, throw the entire potato away. Do not cut off the green part. Do not cut off the sprouts. Throw the whole thing in the trash. Here is why: green and sprouting potatoes produce a toxic chemical called solanine. Solanine can cause nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, diarrhea, and in severe cases, neurological symptoms. It is not a joke. Do not risk it to save 50 cents. Food number 5, the tomato, red, juicy, and heart healthy. You can call it a fruit. You can call it a vegetable, I don't care. I just want you to eat more of them. 100 grams of tomato, about one medium tomato, contains 179 milligrams of potassium. That is solidly in the high potassium category. But tomatoes have another trick up their sleeve. They are packed with lycopene, an antioxidant that has been shown in multiple studies to help protect blood vessels and reduce inflammation. In fact, the American Heart Association, that is the AHA, has publicly named tomatoes as one of the best foods for helping to control high blood pressure, and there is a wonderful study from the University of Barcelona in Spain. It was published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology. The researchers found that people who ate one tomato every single day, just one, had lower blood pressure and a reduced risk of developing hypertension compared to people who rarely ate tomatoes. So put sliced tomatoes on your sandwich. Throw cherry tomatoes into your salad. Make a simple tomato sauce for your whole wheat pasta. Your heart will thank you. 3 more rules to keep your blood pressure steady. Now, friends, I want to be really honest with you. Think of your health like a table. Potassium is one leg of that table, but a table with only one leg falls over. You need all 4 legs to keep things stable. So in addition to eating these 5 potassium-rich foods, you need 3 more legs for your health table. Leg number 1, move your body. You don't need a fancy gym membership. You don't need to run a marathon. What you need is consistent, moderate physical activity. A 30-minute brisk walk every day, a gentle bike ride, swimming, tai chi, even just dancing in your kitchen while you make dinner. Why does this help? Exercise improves your circulation. It helps your body use potassium more efficiently, it helps your kidneys flush out sodium, and it strengthens your heart muscle, which remember is the most important muscle you have. I tell my patients movement is the best blood pressure medicine that comes without a prescription. Leg number two, watch your alcohol. A lot of people don't realize this, but alcohol is a potent diuretic. That means every time you have a beer or a glass of wine, your kidneys start flushing out fluid, and along with that fluid, they flush out precious potassium. So if you are someone who has 2 or 3 drinks every night, you are essentially rinsing your potassium away on a regular basis. I'm not saying you can never have a glass of wine with Thanksgiving dinner or a beer at a barbecue, but for steady blood pressure control, cutting back significantly or eliminating alcohol entirely makes a huge difference. Leg number three. Keep your sodium low. This is the partner to the potassium advice. You can eat all the bananas and potatoes in the world, but if you are also eating a high sodium diet, you are fighting a losing battle. So here is what I want you to do. Read the labels, look at the sodium content on canned soups, frozen dinners, salad dressings, and packaged snacks. You will be shocked at how much salt is hidden in everyday foods. Stick to whole, unprocessed foods as much as possible. Cook at home, use herbs and spices instead of salt. Your taste buds will adjust in about 2 weeks, I promise. Let's recap what you need to remember. We have covered a lot of ground today, so let me pull it all together for you. These are the 6 big takeaways. You might want to grab a pen or take a screenshot. Number 1, understand the real root of unstable blood pressure. If you take a diuretic, a water pill, it can wash potassium out of your body along with the sodium. Sodium is the gas pedal, potassium is the brake. When you lose the brake, your blood pressure can spike even if you take your medicine perfectly, and low potassium makes you feel tired, tingly, and can cause heart flutters. Number 2, watch for the 6 early warning signs: a headache that won't quit, dull or throbbing dizziness, especially when you stand up quickly, brain fog, trouble concentrating or remembering, irritability, and trouble sleeping, tingling in your hands or feet, and tight neck muscles, pale skin, and possible anemia, which can mean kidney damage. If you have several of these, go get your blood pressure checked, please. Number 3, don't ignore the dangers of low potassium. Low potassium doesn't just raise your blood pressure. It causes muscle weakness all over your body. It can trigger dangerous heart rhythms. It slows down your digestion, and it makes your brain feel slow and foggy. Number 4, eat these 5 natural high potassium foods: soybeans and soy foods. The potassium champions. Potatoes, more potassium than a banana, just don't fry them bananas. The classic, easy choice. Corn, including corn silk tea for gentle support. Tomatoes, 1 a day keeps the cardiologist happy. Number 5, follow the 3 lifestyle rules. Move your body every day. A brisk walk counts. Cut back or eliminate alcohol. It flushes away potassium. Keep your sodium low. Read those labels. Number 6, 2 very important warnings. Never buy potassium pills on your own. Too much potassium can stop your heart just as easily as too little. Only take potassium supplements under a doctor's supervision. If you have kidney disease, talk to your doctor before eating high potassium foods. And if you see a green or sprouted potato, throw it away. That green stuff is toxic. My final thoughts for you, friends. Managing high blood pressure is not just about swallowing a pill every morning. It is about understanding your body, listening to its signals, and taking small, consistent, everyday actions to support yourself. When you get your potassium levels back to where they should be, when you put that brake pedal back on your blood pressure, you will feel the difference. You will have more energy. Your muscles won't ache and cramp as much, your heart will feel steady, and your blood pressure numbers will finally start to behave. If this video helped you today, if you learned something new, or if you feel a little less scared about your blood pressure, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps other people find this information. Click subscribe and turn on the little bell so you don't miss future videos, and most importantly, share this with a friend or family member who has been struggling with high blood pressure and low energy. Send it to them right now. You might help them more than you know. And remember, if you're dealing with any health concerns, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace professional medical advice. Take care of yourselves, friends. Stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video.